Hi, welcome to Woodworks. Today is video number 5 in my 52-week challenge where I draw a card every week. Last week I drew this 3 of hearts which says bird feeder. I was not too excited about this project right away, but I'm going to be using some recycled materials on this build, like this old drum cymbal, and I think this is going to be a really fun project. For this build I used cedar, which I have not used too many times, but I know it's a good exterior wood and I had a couple pieces already. I wanted to make this bird feeder in a similar shape to a Japanese pagoda. I thought that would be a fun challenge and would be more interesting than your just typical run-of-the-mill bird feeder. If I do this, you can see that that actually doesn't line up because that needs to be, this needs to have just a slight taper to it. So I'm just going to take a hand plane and just run down the edges. Cedar's a really soft wood and I could not believe how well it hand planed. It would just peel right off the edge. It was beautiful to work with. After putting that slight bevel on the edges, the whole piece fit together really well, and from there I could just use some exterior wood glue and the whole thing fit together beautifully. So something you may not know about me is that I've been playing drums for most of my life, and this is one of the first cymbals I ever had, and it has a big crack in it, so I figured I would cut it up and make it into something else. Typically, I'm the kind of person who likes to save up to buy really high quality tools. This little shear, however, is a total exception of that. I got this at Harbor Freight and it's been an absolute gem to have in the shop. So after I cut the cymbal into little bits, I can cut out these triangles for the roof. I had this sheet of stainless steel that was left over from another project, and I used this little template to trace out all my pieces so they were the same size. And you can see this shear even nibbles through stainless steel without too much trouble at all. And with that cut, I went over to my box and pan brake, and I just bent the edge over about 1/4 inch up from the edge. I wanted to roll that over so it had a nice smooth edge that wasn't sharp or anything, and then I just peened it over with a hammer. And I took the cymbal pieces and just put a little bend in those as well. Those will help join all the other stainless triangles together. So in theory all these pieces should be the same size, but I know in the real world that they are not. So I numbered the cymbal piece with the corresponding triangle piece. Pay close attention to this next step. It's riveting stuff. So I'm using these little solid brass rivets. Pretty simple to use. Take your part, your 2 holes, stick the rivet through, and you just hammer it. And you can see that's held on there nice and tight.
Getting that last piece in there was a little bit tricky, but I got it in there eventually. And when that was done, I could go back to the cedar part and sand it out now that the glue was dry. So I did my best to cut this on the miter saw, and I got the cut pretty good, but it needed a little bit of cleaning up on my disc sander. I thought it would look nice to add a little chamfer to the bottom, and for that I just used the hand plane. This wood planed down so fast it only took me a few minutes to do this to the whole piece. To hang the tray from the bottom so that the birdseed could come out, I drilled 4 holes and installed 4 screws, and I just left the screws proud by about an inch so that the tray had space to hang below. Now, to suspend the bird feeder from the top, I used a piece of TIG wire, and I bent it around in a shape that would fit on the inside, and then it bent back around and up through the middle, which would then go up through the roof. And I just used some screws to hold that wire in place.
Alright, well, there is my bird feeder, and I'm actually pretty happy with how that came out. Let's see what next week's build is. And what are we building? DeResta poster frame. When you buy a Jimmy DeResta knife, the skeleton knife, or a giant razor blade, they come with posters. And I don't want to throw that away because it's cool. He makes them on a printing press. Who the hell is using a printing press in 2022? Jimmy DeResta, that's who. Wow, that rhymed. And I am going to make poster frames for those posters. I think I'll make a big one that holds all of them because there's a couple pictures. There will be a new video up next week, and thank you for watching. Like this knife, whoops, or Jesus.